Hi. Today I felt the inspiration to talk about polarity in intimacy and why I believe practicing polarity in intimacy is one of, if not the key to accessing a level and depth of love and eroticism in your relationship that you may never experience otherwise. Firstly, I want to touch on a bit of misinformation that I feel that people have about polarity and intimacy and why it can sometimes feel like a bad taste in their mouth and they don't want to go near it. I want to give a different perspective on this that perhaps may open you to seeing practicing polarity in intimacy a little different. So to be in a polarized relationship, there is one person that takes the feminine pole, so they're the receptive one. And there's one person that takes the masculine pole. They're the one that penetrates. So this creates a magnet. And when two people are in their poles, it creates this tension that feels like a real deep love moving through them, especially when there's a heart connection. Now, we can experience polarity with strangers. We can experience polarity with people. I'm talking about not one of those quick hits and quick fucks that you get, but I'm talking about really having a deep heart connection and being so polarized that there's this magnet that you just feel like you can't not be with that person in a way that's not attached or codependent, because there can also be no polarity or eros if there's attachment and codependency. So one must actually move out of this space to really feel the erotic charge in their body and that depth of love for that other person, when there's no attachment there and that codependency is not active. So I believe that people start practicing polarity, a lot of people, for the wrong reasons. And so it ends up a disaster and they don't have a good experience with it. So, for example, women start practicing polarity because they want to get more love from their partner. And so rather than dropping into their own practice, their inner work, their inner practice to drop deeper into their feminine, they try to do things to be more feminine. So, for example, they may put on dresses more often to be more feminine, and they may cook more if that's something that you see as feminine. They try to do things, and then they don't get what they want from their partners, or they don't receive the response that they desire, and they get angry and they get aggressive, passive aggressive, resentful, and it ends up a disaster. And polarity shit doesn't work. And so, but this is the wrong approach to deepening an intimacy with somebody. So if you are a woman that desires to move deeper into the feminine polarity and to create more of a magnet and more attraction and more intimacy with your man, it's about clearing what's inside of you that is blocking you from becoming the invitation. So if you're holding on to resentment, if you haven't forgiven men in your past or your partner, if you're still got that armor up and it's in your body and active in your body, it doesn't matter what you put into place, what action step you try and take, there's going to be no charge or magnet there, because on the inside you're still blocked, or you're still full of trauma and pain. And so that's blocking you being penetrated and also receiving your partner in a different way. So really, you're still in your ego. You actually haven't dropped into your heart and your womb. And I believe that this is the biggest block that women have. And so same with men. You know, sometimes like men get annoyed or resentful because they're trying to put all of these things in place to be more masculine, and, oh, she's not receptive to me and she's not responding the way that I want her to. And, you know, when we try and do this to get something from someone, it's never going to end up good. There's going to be an underlying festering of resentment, and you're trying to get something, and it never feels good, because conscious or unconscious, the other person can feel you want something from them. And so if you desire to become more magnetic, or to hold more of that masculine pole and be that mountain for your woman, you practice it for yourself first, because that's who you want to be in life and for your relationship. But it's about you first. Like, do you see what I'm saying here? And so doing all these things, like changing the way that you speak only, or like whatever it is that you're doing, like, it's never going to work if you haven't shifted yourself on the inside and clear out what is blocking you from truly being in the feminine pole, or from truly being in the masculine pole, so that it becomes natural. And so people who practice this, this work, and moving deeper into polarity work, are moving deeper into themselves, for themselves, and thus ripples out into their relationship, and also ripples out so people feel them differently in the world. So if you're out of integrity with your own heart, and you're doing things to get love, or you're doing things for an outcome, you're blocking yourself, and it'll just continue to be frustrating for you. And so this is what my work brings to women, to become the invitation for intimacy, to become the magnet, and to deepen in their own self-trust by clearing out these energies inside of them, because it's all energetic. As soon as these energies are cleared from inside of them, space opens up, and more love opens up, and they feel eroticism within themselves first. And the deeper that they move into the feminine polarity, I'm talking about women here, the more erotic charge that they feel with men, with the masculine, and with just being open and receptive to receiving all the goodness in life as well. And so then what happens in the relationship is a woman will start to naturally show up differently by not having to think about, oh, I have to do this to be feminine and to be attractive, or to invite him in. It happens naturally because her body has deprogrammed, de-armored, and she just radiates differently. She radiates more joy. And so she invites in the masculine. And if she's single, she attracts in masculine men that have a more potent frame than her, because she's in integrity with the frame, her frame. And this is what's most important as well. So let's see if there's anything else with that. So overall, I'll leave you with this, which is practicing polarity and intimacy is all about deepening into yourself. It's not about doing things to get love or to get something. The more that you deepen into your natural state, the more that you will feel that love and that erotic charge all the time. Not only these quick hits here and there, you will actually live into the integrity of who you really are.